I find it though very ironic that, you know, these days we're really on the anglers about moving bass from one place to another. Yet, you know, 40 years ago, we decided to connect basins in a whole lot more dramatic way than just moving fish from one basin to the other. No, we decided to what we had to do was dig a giant ditch through northern Mississippi and connect two entirely different basins with each other. And we'll have the bass move that way. And there's locks all the way down here. So, well, there's definitely some concerns about fish moving between these basins. There's been some evidence, I've mentioned already, of Alabama bass entering the Tennessee area, but mostly in the Pickwick area, which is where this comes out on the Tennessee. But folks in Alabama are worried about another critter that could find its way down into the Mobile Basin and the Mobile Bay. Like I said, it is one of the more diverse areas in North America. And it's not a bass, but it is what is, you know, colloquially known as Asian carp or invasive carp. But the silver carp, the big head carp, the black carp, the ones that are in the news all the time, making all kinds of problems. They're petrified about them getting in the Great Lakes. There's a lot of effort being spent trying to keep them, limit their movements in the Tennessee River, but they are in the Tennessee River and they're found kind of throughout a lot of it, and they're starting to increase their abundance in the Tennessee, in Alabama. And here we have created for them a perfect highway for them to run all the way downstream and into the Mobile Bay, and who knows what in the world kind of havoc that they could put down there. So there's some folks in Alabama right now who, you know, I don't think any aquatic people were ever really thrilled with the Tenn-Tom, but now we have people that are really quite concerned about what the future of biodiversity in Alabama, and specifically the Mobile Bay, can look like if Asian carp do indeed make their way down the Tenn-Tom into the Mobile Bay. And that seems really likely for a fish that is so mobile and you know, readily goes through locks. Like I said, there's dams here, but they all have locks because they're passing barges, and if they can pass barges, they can pass carp. It's just another unintended problem created for, you know, by people who weren't ever thinking about stuff like that. And it's a legacy, again, that we have from our forefathers that we now have to deal with. Like I said before, projects like this are probably rarely, if ever, attempted in the United States anyway. I think we've maybe learned our lesson. But what other things are we doing right now, or perhaps not doing right now, that are leaving a legacy for future generations? Sometimes it's hard to predict, but it's always worth thinking about. And the Tenn-Tom is a sobering reminder of how unintended consequences from what seemed like a good idea can arise and be problems for future generations.